So hello everyone, welcome to my review for episode 20, and yeah, we finally get the true story. The Papas are aliens slash embodiment of something energy, yeah. So I think I was half right, honestly, with the whole Matrix thing, because the Papas aren't really alive, right? They're kind of like this weird living energy thing, and the bodies aren't there. They actually need to be kind of like inside of this. So they're kind of like super advanced AIs. Yeah, they're kind of like they actually are kind of similar to the Stargate Atlantis. Or maybe it's anyway, one of the Stargate series there, where they have like these replicators. Then when they ascend into energy, right, so like an android energy thing. So yeah, like that kind of weird intangible thing there, right there. So I also feel that's pretty correct there. But one thing though I've been saying for a long time, right, is there are very probably aliens in some way, and they're probably going through planet to planet like a locust, right, like in Independence Day and so on, eating the planets. The magma resource is definitely the key for that, like it's a resource, right, to consume. So, honestly, this episode, I think it's a good episode, but at the same time, felt like, you know, it really feels like this is a storyline I have seen being done so many times before, right? And so I got a quick spoiler here now, so some other animes, but spoil on animes. So, for example, right, obviously, Tengen Toppa Guren Lagan, you know, the whole Gainix, Kill and so on, or animes that they are kind of involved in this to trigger, right? And here we get like pretty much the anti-spirals. So suddenly aliens appear, and it's like, it's alien war, yeah. So it's very much that thing where they're trying to, you know, defend the planet Earth and so on, right? Very much so. That the Franxx were built by Clashers, that was very clear when the thing was coming out, right, in early episodes. That was like that I've been saying, and I think most people have been saying that for a long time now. And yeah, that is confirmed in co-watch, and that is very much similar to like Eureka 7, Evangelion pretty much. So like a lot of mecha animes where they're fighting the planets and so on, they usually have built the mechas on some enemies, or like their mechas are actually like bio things that they have rebuilt into mechas. So there's the Cyborgs, I guess, in Eureka 7, something like that, right? It's quite common, right? How is it in like Xenogears? I think also like the mechas have a life force at least. Yeah, the mechas are alive in some way at least. So they're like some intelligent system, and it's true like demons in that world, or some are reverse human, some other ones are like mechas with, you know, self-awareness, but they go crazy, something like that. It's very classic, right? So I think Darling in the Franxx has obviously done it for a long time, but it's borrowing heavily from these other previous animes or like, you know, JRPG games that also have very focused storylines. So it definitely feels very, very Japanese. It feels very Japanese. That is something I can say. This definitely feels like something I've seen 20 times before in other similar mecha world domination of alien and species and this kind of, yeah, like it's so in a way I don't think it's necessarily a bad storyline, but I just feel like it's just a trope. I feel it's very cliche. I feel like I've seen this before many times before. So this probably sounds negative, but yeah, in one way I am disappointed that they didn't like break something new here. I felt they could do something new. But what is more new, I think, in Darling in the Franxx, right, is that they kind of do this whole thing there where it's like this netto rare, not, you know, like, oh, my mom, you stole my boyfriend kind of thing. Yeah, if anything, that is for Darling in the Franxx is breaking new ground, right? It's like the main character is getting kidnapped and pretty much forcefully, you know, raped, sexual, yeah, by his girlfriend's mother, pretty much, right? And she sees this, she's like, that's my darling mom! No, not really, but kind of like, and she kind of knows that, you know, the 001, Ryuki Gamma there, she kind of knows that she's somehow related to her, right? She kind of feels it, right? So you can feel she's behind me now and so on, yeah. And she's like, no, that's my man, you stupid, whatever you are, probably my mom, yeah. It's kind of like that, right? So it's, if anything, the areas with anime breaks new ground, right? Weird sexual relationship, yeah. If anything. And that being said, too, I want to say this right away, I forget it. Kokoro, clearly pregnant. Really pregnant! I have some comments, it can't be less than 2 weeks ago, on other videos and so on, right, on some Reddit, and people were like, oh, you're an idiot! She can't be pregnant anymore. I was like, why? Who the hell is against that? I was like, what are you talking about? For the first thing, the Papa people, the Papa said, but the people working Papa, the humans, they're kind of like, they're super follow order T, right? They're super into Like, okay, this is my order, I do it, I go. Yeah, like they have no self-awareness, kind of like, they have no emotions, they have no strive for getting a better job and so on. It's very communistic, yeah, they have no desire to perform better, right? So there's no reason for them to be like, oh, I'm gonna mind up this girl here because she had sex with someone. I probably should also check she's pregnant and also remove the fetus. Like, why would they do that? They're focused solely on the one task they have, right? They only do the task. There's no way they're gonna go outside of their bound of the task and do something else. Not gonna happen. It's not how this is set up at all. So it makes zero sense that they would remove her pregnancy if she's pregnant. So the only question in my mind 2 weeks ago was, or 2 weeks ago, is she pregnant or not? Before they put the first sexual encounter, right? That is the only question, really. Like, how, did she get pregnant when her and Mitsu had sex for only that one day? Which, of course, is possible. And you see here that she has morning sickness, she's clearly pregnant, yeah. The only question was, did she pregnant? Because that they will remove it, absolutely not. There's no way they're gonna remove it. There's absolutely no way that the Papa and so on would even think about that. And also, I mean, even if people would be aware that maybe I can get a promotion if I do this thing, they don't even know what pregnancy is, right? Like, sex is bad in this future. They don't even know about basically how it works. So why would even the mind wipe guys they wouldn't even consider that probably. Even if they would try to go outside of their tasks, but they don't do that. So they like two major reasons why she would still be pregnant. And here we have the evidence for it. So I'm happy to see that she got pregnant during it. And on that note, I think I really liked that. That was so silly. But how he's behind her and then like, that kokoro ass, and then Mitsu is like, kokoro? Like, I was like, that's what he remembers. He's sitting there seeing her in the doggy position. He's like, kokoro? And then he gets a mind memory. Damn, this anime, it's so lewd. Yeah, like, that's the moment when he remembers that he loves this woman, right? Because he remembers sexual position and he's like, so, oh yeah, oh god. Zerotwo, she got like no action. She lost her man, right? She was bleeding all the episode, yeah. And also one thing I kinda liked, but also hated, is Alpha, his double thing. Like, if you ever heard double thing, where you're aware of something and you can't say it right. Double thing is the 1984 George Orwell, right? It's like you are aware you're doing something pretty much, and but you think you're not doing it at the same time. How to explain it? Okay, well, how to explain double thing here? But basically, what he says is absurd double think, and it's just like, is he aware what he's saying here? Because he's like, you only have special permission because you're a useful tool. You know it, right? And that's after he was standing in the front of the people, like, yeah. So he has the position he has and his group of people because they are the tools of the Papa, right? Like the best tools, except Zerotwo. And he says to her, haha, Papa only likes you because you're a good tool. So actually, you should hate yourself. And he's like, but you are aware that he also like only you, right? Because it's the exact same reason, right? Like, an absurd double take situation here, and it was really, really silly. And in one way, I think it was really funny, and yeah, I actually really liked it. The more I think about it, I actually really like that scene because it really enforces how stupid the Alpha people are, right? Like the group, because they are clearly being used by Papa, and he's clearly aware that other people are being used by Papa, like Zerotwo. So he's clearly aware that they are, just tools for them, systems to be used, right? But he himself, who has clearly has the same positioning as she has, using a lower scale, he's not aware of that for some reason. That just creates this weird fanatic. You have to be a retarded fanatic person to be able to don't see the connection here, right? So that actually, in a sense, actually is perfect for his character, that he can't see that he's also a tool, right? It makes perfect. Think about it, yeah, that really enforces his retarded character, and it's like, yeah, he's a fanatic, a religious fanatic to the maximum degree, right? So, and that really proves that he loves the Papa so much that he cannot see that he's exactly the same what he's saying to someone else, right? And that is an absurd double think level here. So actually, a short scene, but a very good scene in my opinion. What more was it? That's a lot of stuff, right? It has a big, they're called worm, they're conquering. But honestly, yeah, I don't feel much talking about that thing. It was kind of cool how she's like racing up this anti-air, like alien defense system and so on. was pretty cool, but at the same time, as I mentioned earlier, it really feels like I'm just watching any other anime that I've seen so many times before, or in other games and so on. It's like, Earth is here and so on. And I've been saying that since probably episode, I don't know, 13 maybe? 14? At least for 1.5, 2 months of that. I've been saying for a very, very long time. It's very clear that Zero One, yeah, like the princess is clearly, or the classers, even probably before that. So let's say 3 months. I've been saying that they're clearly defending Earth from the Papa. There were also Papa are aliens, AI, mix of AI, alien, blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. These guys are clearly the good guys, the classers, defending Papa from resourcing, destroying the planet and getting the magma resource, right? And that has been very, very, very clear. So the whole thing there, how she is like, yeah, the first is up, yeah, that was cool, but it made very much sense though. But at the same time, I wasn't like really I'm like awesome, because I felt like, yeah, this is exactly what I've been saying is gonna happen for probably 10 weeks or something more, right? Probably half the anime. I've been saying like this is gonna happen. So in one way, yeah, it is good being satisfied that I was so correct on it, that my reviews previously has been pretty much spot on. But at the same time, I do feel it's kind of like I just kind of wish to go in another direction. Like, yeah, like sometimes if you want to be right, but sometimes you want to be wrong, because I feel like I accept the Papa not being like pure AIs, but aliens, but they're kind of alien AIs. Except just that point, but pretty much everything else I said in the video and how they work, the system and so on was correct. And so yeah, so I feel that it gets me disappointed when I feel that I have been too much correct in my theories, in my opinion. I've been like dropping the bombs everywhere, it feels like, and I kind of wish I was wrong actually, more. Yeah, honestly, because I feel like, yeah, this is actually what I said. This is Eureka 7, evangelion, and so on, right? It's like so many other animes, and also weirdly because it's just this kind of genre too, like mecha fighting anime with weird aliens and so on. That specific genre too, the specific like trope of that thing seems to have this the most for some reason in Japan. So it feels absurdly Japanish that you have the whole like setting there. Right? It's just like that. But yeah, Frank wanted to ride, of course, with Season 1. I can be your man. That was pretty good too. So I forgot about that. Yeah, Nana being replaced by Nana. Obviously, Nana means 7. Like Nanatsu, like 7 days since. Nanatsu, so yeah. But definitely a little weird. So you can just have like other Nanas. What's her number before that? Yeah, definitely a little weird. So she lost her Nana and then you have a new Nana. Or do they have like, I'm thinking, do they have multiple of 7s or Hachis? Like they have several Nanas. Maybe? Like they physically have one Nana per, child group, right? Something like that. So this is like a new grown-up female, probably also an ex-pilot, and wish they made it a new Nana. Maybe, I don't know. We didn't actually see our old Nana. We saw this new Nana, right? So it's kind of like a little weird there. Also weird how Frank actually cares about it. It's like, how's our Nana? You mean this Nana? Like, oh, the old Nana. You get like I was like, why does he care? I don't know, because she broke the spell maybe. That was good, by the way. How Kokoro Mitsuru kind of got the same animation as Nana, right? So we kind of have the same triggering mind thing there. That was good. But yeah, it feels like the anime mainly breaks new ground with the whole weird mother-daughter, same boyfriend kind of thing, right? It's like I'm thinking, what's it called again? Oh my god, what's it called? Jerry Springer, yeah, it's like Jerry Springer! That's what it is. It feels more like that. It's breaking ground and being more like Jerry Springer, but being like, oh, this thing, and it's like, oh, I'm still pregnant, oh, look at that, I remember her now. It feels like, there it is, yeah, there it is. It's the mecha anime plus Jerry Springer. Now I know what Darling In the Franxx is. I was like Jerry Springer, so. Anyway, hope I review, and I'll see you guys next week.